Okay, picture this. It's like something straight out of an old Hollywood movie, but set under the Spanish sun. We're talking ancient stone walls, vineyards, this stunning old abbey in Valladolid, and everyone's just waiting, holding their breath for a wedding that honestly feels like it's been 20 years in the making.
It really does. And talk about Hollywood royalty having a moment. This is Stella Banderas. And Antonio Banderas and Melanie Griffith's daughter. And she just married Alex Gruszynski, the guy she's known since, like, forever, our childhood sweetheart.
Right. It's more than just another celebrity wedding. This feels different. It's like a deep dive into destiny almost. It kind of proves that sometimes those simple, decades-long love stories, they're the ones that really get you.
Absolutely. Welcome, everyone, to Starscope Report. So what we do here is pretty straightforward. We cut through the noise, we dig into the big stories, Hollywood drama, music industry shifts, those viral influencer moments. We really try to get you the facts, the context behind the headlines, the full picture,
And today, we are zeroing in on this wedding because it wasn't just about Stella and Alex tying the knot. It was kind of the ultimate feel-good moment for one of the most, interesting and genuinely loving blended families in Hollywood. Seriously mature stuff. So let's unpack it. The details of the big day. Where do we start? The setting.
Let's start there. Because the setting says a lot. It was this really deliberate mix of elegance, history, and deep Spanish roots. The headline we're really digging into is, "The Spanish Sun Shines on Hollywood Royalty. Stella Banderas Weds in Valladolid."
Okay, so the facts. Stella, she's 29. Alex Gruszynski, the groom, also 29. They got married this past Saturday, October 18th, 2025. Beautiful fall wedding, clearly. But the location itself, Valladolid in Spain,
Right.
That feels significant.
It totally is. The specific venue, the Abadía Retuerta estate, it's breathtaking, apparently. It's actually a converted historic abbey, the old Retuerta Le Domaine Abbey. I mean, when you pick a 12th century abbey surrounded by vineyards in Antonio Banderas' home country, that's a statement, right? You're basically saying this new family unit, it's connected to his cultural history deeply.
And visually, from what the sources say, it looked incredible. Stella wore an off-the-shoulder lace gown, had these gorgeous trailing sleeves, very classic, very elegant European feel. Alex went with a classic black tuxedo, looks sharp. But you're right, the visuals, lovely as they are, they feel almost secondary to the emotional side of it.
Definitely. The real core of this whole thing, based on reports, seems to be the pure joy, especially from the parents. Antonio Banderas, he's 65 now. He was actually photographed outside the venue, raising a glass, giving a toast, and apparently wasn't just posing, he was beaming at the reporters. You could just feel the pride,
And Antonio, he's never really been shy about showing his feelings, especially when it comes to his daughter, to Stella. And we got confirmation of that vibe just 2 days later, Monday the 20th. He posted this tribute on social media. The translation from Spanish was just really heartwarming. He said, "The wedding of my daughter Stella has turned into a heartfelt family reunion. Emotional, joyful, and full of laughter."
Yeah, that phrase, heartfelt family reunion, that's everything. This wasn't just a wedding ceremony. It felt like the ultimate proof of concept for one of Hollywood's most famously, civil divorces, and it all happening in Spain. It just anchors this whole new chapter right in the Banderas family heritage.
It's incredibly cinematic, and honestly, we're just scratching the surface of this couple's backstory. If you're finding these kinds of deep dives into celebrity relationships and family histories interesting, well, make sure you're subscribed, because we've got way more details coming up, including the story behind Alex himself. The venue's amazing, sure, but it's the love story. That's what everyone's really buzzing about.
You got that right. The history between them is, it's pretty unique. Let's call this next part the ultimate friends to lovers arc. The Wagon Wheel School sweethearts.
Right. Because this isn't some whirlwind romance. This goes back decades. Literally started in the sandbox. Stella and Alex. They first met as classmates at the Wagon Wheel School in Los Angeles. Preschool. Think about knowing someone that long. You basically know their entire life story before you even decide on forever.
It's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it? They were friends for years and years, then officially started dating back in 2015. But, like any real love story, it wasn't all smooth sailing. There was real-life drama. They apparently had a pretty serious fallout in 2019. They actually broke up.
Wow, a 4-year break. That's significant. Enough time to really figure things out, maybe see what you lost. But the narrative, the sources suggest, is that they were just meant to be. They got back together in 2023 and came back, quote, stronger than ever. So they went out, lived life, probably dated other people, and then consciously chose each other again. It's powerful.
And that choice leads us straight to the proposal story. which might be the most, I don't know, aggressively committed full circle moment I've heard of in celeb romance. Alex proposed in August 2024. And get this, not on some yacht, not in Paris. He did it during a picnic at the actual preschool grounds where they first met.
Wait, seriously, they went back to Wagon Wheel School?
Oh.
Okay, I need to know details. Did they have to, like, hop the fence? Or did they get special permission to propose by the tiny swings? That is hilariously, genuinely sweet. It's perfect for their story.
It is perfect, isn't it? Because it just cuts through all the Hollywood noise. It reminds you, this is fundamentally, it's two people who've known each other since they were learning to tie their shoes. And Stella's engagement announcement on Instagram, it totally captured that pure joy. She posted these amazing throwback pics of them as kids, high school photos, along with the ring reveal. And the caption was just pure enthusiasm. I get to hang out with my favorite person on earth forever. Lots of exclamation points and hearts.
Okay, we definitely need to talk about this favorite person for a second. Alex Gruszynski. He's not just the childhood friend who stuck around. He's actually a pretty serious player in his own right, isn't he?
He really is. Alex is a businessman, a tech entrepreneur. He co-founded and is the CEO of a company called Nova. It's a tech platform, basically connects creative freelancers with companies needing their skills.
And it's doing well, right? That's important context. Nova raised, what, $1.75 million in funding? Which, for that kind of platform in the tech world, that's pretty impressive. It's a tough space. Plus, Alex himself got recognized, Forbes 30 Under 30, for art and style in 2025. So yeah, this isn't someone just riding coattails. He brings his own success to the marriage.
And that success, that substance, it seems really valued by his new father-in-law. Yeah. Antonio's approval feels, well, crucial here. He talked publicly about the engagement last September, just gushed about Alex, said, he's awesome, I've known him since he was a little kid. And he really emphasized his only wish for Stella was simply that she was loved. That's it.
But, is that level of public warmth? Is that normal in Hollywood after a divorce? We see so many celebrity exes who are, like, politely tolerant of the new partners. At best, what makes Antonio's affection for Alex seem so genuine, not just, good PR?
Well, I think ties directly back to the strength of his bond with Melanie Griffith, his ex-wife. Which brings us to maybe the most remarkable part of this whole wedding story, the modern Hollywood blended family reunion, how divorce doesn't have to mean divided, this family. They're kind of the blueprint for how to do it right. Co-parenting, co-familying, all of it.
Totally agree. Melanie Griffith, who's 68 now, and Stella's half-sister, Dakota Johnson, 36, they were both there. Sources say they attended, though they smartly stayed out of the direct line of the paparazzi at the venue itself.
Right. And their presence just underlines the maturity here. Antonio and Melanie divorced back in 2015 after 18 years together, but they are constantly and rightly praised for staying incredibly close. Antonio himself said it back in 2020, called Melanie probably one of my best friends, if not the best friend that I have. I mean, that level of respect, it ensures that the whole family circle, Stella, Dakota Johnson, who's Melanie's daughter with Dom Johnson, and Alexander Bauer, Melanie's son with Stephen Bauer, it never really fractured.
That's the absolute key takeaway here, isn't it? They chose friendship. They chose stability for the kids over any personal bitterness. And that positive relationship clearly extends to the newest member, Alex. The groom was even photographed skiing with Dakota Johnson on a family trip just last year. It seems like a really seamless integration.
And what's really fascinating when you look at the timing, the contrast this wedding provides within the family unit itself. So while Stella is embarking on this lifelong commitment, we know her half-sister, Dakota Johnson, actually called off her own long-term engagement fairly recently to Chris Martin, the Coldplay guy. That ended earlier this year, 2025, after they'd been dating since 2017.
Whoa, okay. That's a really interesting dynamic. So you've got the end of one very high-profile long-term relationship and the official beginning of another equally long-term, deeply rooted relationship, all happening, all being supported and celebrated within the exact same, very loving, very complex Hollywood family. It just shows a family unit that can handle massive life changes, joyful starts, painful endings with, total support.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Could this be the ultimate model for a mature celebrity split, where the divorce itself actually somehow provided the stable foundation for the entire extended family structure to thrive afterward? Just like Antonio said, the whole clan gathered in Spain, emotional, joyful, and full of laughter.
It really is inspiring, and honestly, it's a fantastic change of pace from some of the messier celeb stories we usually track here on Starscope Report. If you want to keep up with these kinds of stories, the ones that show the real dynamics behind the headlines, definitely hit that subscribe button. Don't miss our next deep dive.
And just as a final thought, as you picture that beautiful Spanish setting, the family unity we've talked about, And the fact that Antonio made sure this wedding happened in Valladolid. Remember that the family's connection to Spain, it runs deeper than just him.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Melanie Griffith actually shared something really lovely about that connection years ago.
Hmm.
She talked about Antonio introducing her and the kids Stella included to the Semana Santa, the Holy Week traditions down in Malaga. She called it a spiritual experience. It emphasizes that those shared cultural roots, that deep connection to Spain, that's still a powerful anchor holding this famously blended family together years after the divorce papers were signed. What a profound foundation to build a new marriage on.
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.